David. Okay, just a moment. No, just stay on the phone. Can you hear it now?
I'm getting reports that the sound is not working on the
You guys didn't test this previously? But did it work on the other session?
channel 28.
Okay, let me come down and check this out. Have you right there?
You heard me?
Yeah, going down and fix it now.
I was gonna ask, is that box on? Usually I cut the TV on.
Let me handle it if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Is that all right? Are you hearing anything at all? Check now with me. Check again. Still. I understand that. We just need to know. I don't know what has changed. I don't know. What did he change, Whitman? So all he did was just log into a different Zoom session, did he not? Um, let's get James on the phone, okay? Let me call him. Thanks. Hey James, this is David.
Washington is our representative on the North Bay Watershed Association. I'm representing the Napa County Flood Control and Water Conservation. Had a conversation with staff there. It will be on their agenda next meeting. The necessity of having a representative from Flood Control Board because the county already attends. And it's there's not much action with relationship to the Flood Board that is pertains to those issues that are covered by the North Bay Watershed Association. So the county feels that they have sufficient representation of those who are attending currently. So I will be, we'll see what the results of that board is, but I may expect that to they may no longer need a representative on that. The Chamber of Commerce has a government
Government Affairs Committee.
Yeah. And I don't know that we have what we haven't in serving as needed.
Yeah. Historically, I've been the representative. I think they're asking for 2.
Okay, I had heard that too as well.
Well, I've been an alternative, vice mayor? He's still vice mayor until 2020. And Vice Mayor Joseph never missed a meeting, so I never needed to be an alternate. So, you want to keep it simple. I don't mind being the second one or, but I'm not wed to it either, so.
We meet quarterly though. So since the last time it was a monthly meeting, now it's a quarterly meeting. So.
Oh, I'm all in now. Yeah.
All right.
Well, if your council is amenable to continuing as with the 2 representatives, but now we will, instead of an alternate, we'll have 2 appointees. That would be, I think, a change in that one. Is there any need to discuss or anything further?
We are doing an alternate or we're not?
They're not doing an alternate. There's just going to be 2 now.
Cool. I'm good with Joseph and Oro on that one.
Couldn't hear you on that, sorry.
I said I'm good with Joseph and Oro on that one.
Okay, all right. Any other changes desired by council or representation needed?
And there's some committees that I don't think have met for years, so we may raise the question, do we need to continue them? But there's no harm in leaving them on even if you don't meet. So there's that.
Oh, well, I've been going through the list. I serve on the Napa Waste Management Authority and NVTA with that's part of my role on that. ABAG, I'm appointed by Mayor Select County. So
I'm generally fine with my committee assignment. Yeah. I see we did some changes last year, and I feel like it still feels a little fresh to me, and I'm just getting in the groove of what I'm doing. So,
all right.
Yeah, I'm the same like Councilman Oro. I'm in the groove of all my committees.
All right. Sounds good.
Do
we need a motion to that effect, or can we just
Yes.
leave it as is?
Yeah.
Yes. So we are also creating a Watson Ranch subcommittee, which is on that current 2022 City Council appointments list. So we do need to ask for a motion by minute order to create the Watson Ranch subcommittee and then approve the 2022 committee appointments list with whatever change you want to make.
The agenda is showing Abu Dhamas and Washington as the representatives.
Yes.
So I'll make the motion, motion to create a minute order, the motion to create a Watson Ranch subcommittee.
I'll second that.
Okay. Again, who are the 2 serving on that?
We're just in the minute order now, and then we're going to do the serving next.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, is that to that effect?
Okay, so right now we are only creating the committee.
Minute order.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you asked for, right?
Well, and you can do it in one, so you can create the committee and then approve the appointments
Okay,
as they're listed with whatever changes you need to make. I just need to write down what you're
no
doing.
problem. Then, you know, I just wanted you to do roll call twice, but since it's Christmas, I'll do it once. So, and then I'll move to have, Councilmember Abadamos and Councilmember Washington be on that subcommittee.
Mhm. Okay,
So create the minute order for the subcommittee and, Councilmember,
And the appointment, okay.
yep.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll still second it.
Okay, very good. Roll call.
okay, and then what about the rest of the list?
I understood the appointments being the whole list as is.
Is that,
Yeah.
that's, so we're just approving the list as it is, adding the committee with Abadamas?
Weren't any substantial, there weren't any changes.
Yeah, no changes.
No changes, okay,
Adopt it, yeah.
perfect. So, let me take your roll call. Councilmember Abadamos,
Yes.
Councilmember Oro,
Yes.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Joseph,
Yes.
and Mayor Garcia.
Yes. Thank you, council. Moving on to the agenda. Item 15, ballot measure for June 7th, 2022 statewide primary election, term limits.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We also have with us our consultant Shirley Concolino, hopefully for the last time. Although we love Shirley, we don't want her to go. We have Shirley with us to hopefully wrap this up. We had a quite extensive conversation on December 7th and reached kind of a compromised proposal, and the attachment to the staff report brings forward that proposal. So in a nutshell, we're talking about 3 lifetime term limits. A term limit of 3 within a lifetime for the mayor's seat, and a term limit of 3 within a lifetime for city council seats. Separate applications, so one doesn't count for the other. These would be 2 separate questions that would go on the June 2022 ballot. There's some more definition about the term, how it's defined, and if you serve more than half of a term, by counting the calendar dates, that counts as a term. And it doesn't matter whether you were elected in a special election or appointed, due to a vacancy or that sort of thing. So kind of the 50 plus 1 days, if you will, in a term would then count towards that lifetime limit. Current incumbents would all be viewed as having exactly 1 term under this formula, regardless of how many terms any of you individually have been in your respective roles. Each of you would be viewed as serving exactly 1. And I think that's it. Just the last piece. If a council member resigns or is otherwise removed from office, that counts as a term, regardless of whether you serve 50% or not. So kind of a different circumstance than the other. The questions are identified in the staff report and also in the resolution. We've been in touch with John Tudor's office. The estimated cost to put these questions on the June 22 ballot is between $35,000 and $50,000. And I think that's all I have. Oh, Shirley, you wanted to add anything? Did I capture it?
No, I think you've captured it. We consolidated everything that was taken from the comments in the prior sessions, and hopefully this captures it all.
Okay, very good. Council want to hear public comment first? Okay, we have public comment on this matter?
I have no written public comment on this matter. I have Justin Hamilton Hole as the speaker. And, there we go. Okay, Justin, go ahead.
Thank you. I am back.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I think your guy doing a good job to run the city, American. I hope you guys can stay on there. So I don't want you guys to leave. So I see Mark Joseph doing a good job, the mayor, and everybody doing a good job. So Merry Christmas to you all.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Any other speakers?
I do not have any other speakers.
Okay. Close public comment, return to council for further discussion, desired action.
So the issue is to adopt the resolution as presented. Unless there's any last minute changes, which we should be shot if there are, but I'll make a motion if there's no other comment or discussions to adopt resolution 2021 next in order, a resolution of the City Council of the City of American Canyon, California, submitting to the qualified voters of the city an ordinance amending the American Canyon Municipal Code to add section 2.04.120 regarding mayor and council member term limits at the regular statewide primary election to be held June 7, 2022.
I'll second.
We got the second.
I got the second. And Councilmember Abadamos,
Yes.
Councilmember Oro,
Yes, I'm about to vote on this, but before I do, I'd like to state that I will not be supporting this at the ballot box. But in respect to my colleagues and the compromises that we made to actually make this a more decent ballot initiative, I will be voting yes on putting this on this resolution. But I still think that, every 4 years is the election that we have and that term limits are not needed and that we will be spending close to $60,000 or more putting this on the ballot. And hopefully the voters will decide how to move forward. So there's that. Thank you.
thank you. Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Joseph,
Yes.
and Mayor Garcia.
Let me speak for a moment. I do appreciate all the work that the council has done on this very important issue. I certainly value. However, I'm not going to support this. I think consistency of leadership is very important for the well-being of the city. I think that term limits do not serve the best interest of the community as a whole. To be able to have a knowledge base, continuation of involvement in the issues facing the city is the primary benefits of being terms in office. The community has an opportunity every single election cycle to make a change that they desire. So my vote is no.
Thank you.
Okay. Beyond the next item.
Before we go,
There's the ordinance. Mark, you should let me have this one because you did the resolution.
No, I apologize. I should have let others make the motion. But I just wanted to make sure that before we leave, I think the city manager wants to remind us that somebody's got to be assigned writing the pro and con measures.
Yeah, that's correct. There is no ordinance. The resolution and the single action is sufficient to bring the ordinance to ballot. But Vice Mayor Joseph is correct. It is my strong recommendation, given the strong perspectives on both sides of this issue, that the council take action tonight to appoint some of its own to write the arguments in favor and write the arguments against that show up in the voter information pamphlet. Absent that direction tonight, any registered voter can do that. and we might be left with competing perspectives and a messy situation for us to sort out as to what goes into that pamphlet. So you have the opportunity now to express your preferences for whom could write both arguments in favor and arguments against. It would be my strong recommendation that you do that tonight.
Well, I
I'd
would-
be willing to write the argument in favor if somebody wanted to work with me on that. If not, I can just circulate a draft to the whole council.
I'll work with you on that, Councilman. Councilman, you're still council member, so.
I'm council member tonight.
And just to
I-
clarify, we won't be bringing these arguments in favor back to the council or anything like that for approval. So
I know.
the
I
two,
was being collaborative.
Yeah.
well, sure, the two who are appointed to write the arguments in favor will be, I guess, coordinating us themselves, but we'll be submitting those to the city clerk. Anyone who is assigned to write the arguments against would do that on their own volition and would be submitting that to the city clerk there. These arguments in favor and against won't come back to the city council for any sort of action.
Jason, what?
I would just note that,
Wait, excuse me, can we hear from Mr. Ross, please?
yeah, normally that would also include the right for rebuttal to the other view. So it's
Right.
argument in favor, and then rebuttal to the opposition, and then rebuttal to the arguments in favor.
Thank you for
You're
clarifying.
willing to work on the argument opposing. Anybody wants to work with me on that?
I'd be happy to work with the mayor on that.
Okay, very good.
So can I ask my question of when these will be due?
I don't know if Teresa, you have that off.
I do not have that date. Shirley, do you know?
It's, I can't tell you right off the top of my head. Oops, I think I'm muted.
No, you're on.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, I'm
Go
good.
ahead.
I don't have it right off the top of my head, but it's much further into the process, and there will be emails and all that go out with an election calendar and the timelines for all of how this progresses. So there will be adequate notice. So we'll be sure and have that to you ahead of time.
Okay, we'll look forward to the emails on that. Close this item?
One question, Shirley, do we need a council action on who's doing the writing?
A minute
Does
order
need to
would
be a
be,
minute, or it does need to be adopted by minute order, but that will
Okay.
suffice. So it's a direction to, yes.
The motion
Then
to
do we
adopt
need-
that minute order?
So then do we need to get more specific? Should we be doing one for the argument in favor, one for the rebuttal, one for the argument against, and one for the other rebuttal?
No.
Or,
no, you can do a single one. You can
One
do a
minute
single one.
order with who's doing what?
And additionally, if others wish to sign on to help collaborate with that, it does not preclude this just because you weren't named in this motion. You just need one primary person to lead the effort. That's a council member in order to make sure that you have, I guess you'd say, stated your spot. You get the first priority in per election code for rebuttals and arguments, and it only takes one member to do that, and others may sign on as they wish along the process.
Any questions on that process? Okay, seeing none. You need a minute order then.
I'll go ahead and make the motion. I'd like to move by minute order to appoint myself to write the argument in favor and Mayor Garcia to write the argument against. And then anybody who wants to join can join.
I'll second that.
Second was Washington?
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna add and the rebuttal for the opposite sides.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and I've got Councilmember Abadamos,
Yes.
Councilmember Oro,
Yes.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Joseph,
Yes.
and Mayor Garcia.
Yes. Thank you, council.
And thank you, Shirley.
Certainly.
Thank you, Shirley.
Appreciate your work on this, Shirley. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley.
That is through it.
Shirley,
All
send
good, thank you,
Got it wrapped up just in time for the holidays. Very good.
yeah.
for sure.
Shirley, send my
Merry
regards.
Christmas to all of you.
Shirley, send my regards to Wendy.
I will.
Thank you, Shirley.
All right, We ready to move on to the next item?
Yes, Mayor.
Number 17, water supply demand drought emergency stage 2.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I know Teresa will be bringing in Felix and I believe Dominic as well to give this update, which is a reoccurring update that we give during drought emergencies. And I believe they have a presentation they would like to give as well. Give us a moment while we get on the screen and we get our presentation loaded. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. Coach and as Maintenance Utilities Director, I have with me tonight Dominic Patrick. And so quick question, Jason, did you want us to just get into the presentation? Okay, we're just going to jump right to it. All right, so I will hand it over to Mr. Patrick. And let me share my screen here. All right. Dominic, take it away.
Good evening, City Council, and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We wanted to update you with our drought strike team report. Strike team consists of utility billing, parks and maintenance, water reclamation, water treatment and distribution. What do we do? Recycled water, communications outreach, and development and engineering. The city website is updated. Jen Kastenbach, shout out to her. She does a great job. Lots of information. We update it as things come in from the state or local agencies. Be sure to check in with our city website to stay with the latest news. Our My Water portal has 462 customers. It's almost a 50% increase since August. 462 customers based out of our 5,200 customers that receive water. We are starting to see a strong movement in residential. We are working to get the industrial and commercial buildings to start getting involved with the My Water portal. The AMI helps us conserve water, alarms, real-time comparison. And again, it's an intelligent tool that helps us customers. All customers that haven't signed up should sign up, and we are putting you in a drawing for a $25 credit. So reward is there. Please do so if you haven't already signed up on our city website. Overall, water use year to date, January through November of 2021, we have a 15% reduction as a comparative last year. This here is a graph comparing on a month-to-month breakdown. Down below, you'll see January through November, each month per acre foot. Last month of November, 233 acre feet, a significant reduction this November of 2021.
Oh, 6%. Wow.
You do see a huge climb in the beginning of the year, but the most important part here is when we did our drought and strike teams in June, you saw the orange take a significant decrease. So this chart does reflect the homework and the hard work of the city and the residents during the stage 1 and stage 2 drought. This is a breakdown, our overall water use per class.
Just let me know when you don't need the next slide, Dominic.
You got it. 35.5 reduction, residential, commercial 41%, city 83, and other 80%. The other has been, people ask me, well, what is other? Other is temp meters or meters that are used by construction that's going on that isn't on our AMI data, but is collected and then accumulated per month. So if you're wondering what other is, just to clarify. Next slide. Here we have a graph of a breakdown of all 4 classes. It gets a little more specific per class. I know that for residential, it has the biggest drop off. Commercial is a little more consistent, which goes to show you that the commercial is building in our city, but they are maintaining a reduction as compared to last year. So with all the movement and all the progress, they're still responding to our drought strike team emergency as well. Next slide. Internal operations and changes. So the water distribution team raked in 42 repairs, estimated volume about 11 acre feet of potable water. Parks, the parks installed 6 waterless urinals. We project about 0.77 acre feet per year. Recycled water irrigation back at Kimberly Park is a rough savings of 5.12 acre feet per year. Next slide. Recycled water. So the recycled water program, there's a lot of people that played a big hand in this, from Pam to Yvonne. We did recycled water deliveries, and every department in the maintenance and utilities division stepped up, from boots on the ground all the way to even husbands and wives. We had the stations there that people used. In July, we had over 200,000 gallons picked up. But all in all, I think it's important that we share that we either delivered or had over 3.25 acre feet distributed to the city customers. That's 3.25 acre feet that we save from potable water that we're not treating and having to deliver. Our residential recycled water delivery program has 316 residential users. That's just for delivery. So we delivered to 316 customers. The total program has 528 residents overall.
Dominic, I'm going to add something here for council, is that we have, as you may know, this, to echo what Dominic said, staff did a phenomenal job putting this together with such a short order. It was constantly evolving. We were getting feedback from our residents and then incorporating that feedback into not only the website, but the deliveries, the dates and times. And what we're doing now is we're evaluating this entire process, and we're saying, well, how can we improve on this for next year? We anticipate this is going to carry on, and we're hoping to improve this piece here. So stand by for more on that. Some of the photos from our deliveries and where the water was used. Sorry that Dominic kind of jumped in here, but mostly photos. And, the proof is in the pudding, right? The recycled water, it's fine for irrigating ornamentals. And even like Councilmember Ora, I believe, had inquired about using it for ornamental fountains. All right, Dominic, hand it back to you.
Thank you. Rebate programs. Big shout out to URI. We've had 22,669 square feet of turf replaced. That means lawns, 22,000 plus square feet ripped out and replaced with either low irrigation waters or hard landscapes. 62 toilets replaced this year. Next slide, please. We still continue our best practices to save water, reduce the number of days per week, run times, and we will continue this into the 2022. Next slide. Felix, I'll let you take over from
Yeah, I'll
here.
recap here. We're not going to go through this as we've addressed it on many occasions, but we still are in stage 2 mandatory compliance. It's well known that the state is still in a drought. Even with the most recent rains, I checked reservoir levels today, as a matter of fact. And as of midnight last night, we've had a very minimal increase in storage capacity throughout the state. As those numbers continue to update, then we'll continue to evaluate where we need to be with our stage. So it's, I know folks see rain and we get these heavy events and think, hey, maybe we're out of the woods, but we're not. It's still very critical that we continue to conserve and that we stay in stage 2. Further to that, again, call to action, it continues, right? Like Mr. Patrick said, for our customers, sign up for the water portal, be mindful. And as we get out of this winter and we start moving into spring and summer, sometimes I think, folks forget when we get these events and we start getting early rain, but it's going to take more than one season to get caught up. Without any questions, feedback or suggestions from council?
Thank you for the presentation. That's very informative. For my household, actually, we really appreciate the recycled water delivery system. My wife has an extensive succulent garden and has been able to manage that quite well using the recycled water. I also have a rainwater collection system in my house as well. So for this evening, I expect by the time I get home, I'll may have hopefully another 50 gallons. But that works as well. So I think it's appreciate the effort the city's made on it. You've done a very good job with this. And I just think more of the message needs to get out because even though it's raining, as you pointed out, reservoirs aren't full yet. And hopefully the weather news that I watched from 2 or 3 channels point out the coming week is going to be rather extensive in the Sierras. They think probably at least 8 feet of snow is possible. So this weather cycle, maybe this will bring hopefully fuller reservoirs into this drought process. But I think we've met our goal in terms of the reduction, as I understand it. And that speaks very well for the folks of American Canyon paying attention to it. Thank you. With that, Councilmember Oro.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. And I got to commend the city, particularly on the staff on the recycled water program and delivering it to homes. I recall seeing it for the first time at Meet Me on the Streets, and Pam, a city employee, was working the event, and I looked at her and I was like, nobody's going to do this unless you guys deliver it to somebody's house. There's no way I'm taking this hero. And I think she took my feedback, and she probably heard it from others, and she called me up a couple of weeks later. She says, hey, we're doing deliveries now. And I was like, I'll try it. And it's worked out very well for me. And I'm glad you, Mr. Hernandez, that you acknowledged what I could use it for, because I think I was part of the feedback loop here. I was like, okay, it's not just for gardening, but could I use it for decorative fountains? And that's what I ended up using it for mostly. So good job all around. It's everywhere. And, Mayor Garcia and I have had an opportunity to take a couple of potential candidates around town to show them American Canyon. And I'm speaking about supervisor races that are happening up Valley. And we toured them around American Canyon and let them get to know the area. And the recycled water barrels were a hit. Like, what? Are you doing that? Really? That's an innovative. Let me do that here in St. Helena or Napa. Why aren't we doing that? So thank you for the work on it. Thanks to the citizens of American Canyon for heeding the drought and reduction in water. I'm glad we were able to do that. The one thing I would push more for is to continue to get these grass lawns converted over to low recycled water. And for anybody that's listening, I would encourage you to do it. There's an incentive. I think it was $750 for a lawn, but I would also encourage it to you because if you're like me, you have never woken up on a weekend saying, you know what, I want to mow my lawn. I haven't mowed my lawn in 7 years, and it's been fantastic. So get on it and change that water-eating lawn into something that's a little bit more drought tolerant. Thanks.
Vice Mayor Joseph.
Yes, I just want to echo Councilmember Oro's remarks. I think the recycled water delivery program is an outstanding service, even beyond the drought, because I think it addresses the fact that most of this city was built out before we had recycled water. So the only way it's going to get to your house is you either have a truck and a hydraulic system or the delivery. And so even though that's kind of a labor intensive option, you know, it's still a great service, and hopefully we can increase the number of customers in that regard. And, you know, again, cash for grass, save yourself some time and headache. You will save money because when we converted our yards, I think we were averaging about 20 units during the summer, and then it dropped down to 10 or 15. Now it's even less because even the limited watering can be by recycled water. So it's a great program. Swapping out your toilet is a great program. So avail yourself of the services that the city is providing you, because it saves us on the drought, and you're kind of indirectly paying for it through your rate, so you may as well take advantage of it. Thanks.
Any further comment? Any public comment on this matter?
I have no hands raised.
Well, again, I'd like to.
Wait. Oh, Justin? Looks like Justin.
All right, we go.
Justin has a comment. Justin, go ahead.
I am here. I'm gonna keep a little bit short. Yeah, I think I want to make a comment. All the city doing a good job. I saw a red bucket, couple neighborhood in the house, and I walk with my dog Nash, and I look around. People have own water bucket, so I think the city is doing a good job.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I do. I have Beth Marcus. Go ahead, Beth.
Just wanted to say that I have participated in the Cash for Grass this year, and I'm absolutely excited about it. It was great. I really liked getting the $750 back. That was great. And I also want to commend Pam and Yvonne and everybody and the city for allowing us and giving us these great opportunities. I've never seen such a great city in all my life. Of course, I've been here 43 years, so what do I say? But you guys, you're always offering great things, and it's amazing. And I like to brag to the other people in Napa and Vallejo and all that, say, you know, they want to know if they can do the same thing. And I said, nope, you gotta live here. So thank you, city. You did a great job to all of you.
Thank you. Any other comment?
I have no other comments.
Okay. Thank you again for the presentation. I think I really appreciate the creativity. I think we all do. You know, there's a challenge, and it's actually not a very complicated way of addressing it. And I just got a lot of very wow comments, as Councilmember Oro mentioned, by visitors from outside of the city. It speaks what American Candy can achieve. I know so I started at my house, got a lot of other neighbors interested in it as well. And so I saw progressing around the city. I said, well, we need to sign up too. So good work. Thank you.
Thank you, City Council.
Yes, thank you,
Thanks, guys. Great job.
Moving on to management staff oral reports.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Chief Greenberg has a quick update, and while I'm on that topic and Teresa brings him over, I wanted to congratulate and note that Rick is now our permanent police chief. And in the past, he had filled this in an interim role, but Chief Greenberg, by virtue of council's action at your last meeting on December 14th, is now appointed officially as the permanent police chief for American Canyon. So I believe Teresa is bringing him over, and we'll all have a little bit of applause, and then he has an update also for you all. Congratulations, Rick.
Oh, thank you very much.
On behalf of the council, we offer our congratulations as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Excited to be here. Officially. Okay, I can move on with my update. I have two quick updates. First, I wanted to throw a shout out and a thank you to the Freedom of American Canyon for inviting my wife and I out to the Parole Festival on Saturday out at Shenandoah Park. It was a great event. A little chilly out, but
yes.
Secondly, last night I had the pleasure of attending the holiday banquet and award ceremony for the VFW post 1123, and there our own officer Jose Pinedo was awarded the Officer of the Year award by the VFW. Just some quick highlights on what Officer Pinedo has done. He's been in American Canyon for about 2 years, and he's also been with the Sheriff's Department for about 2 years. So pretty much his whole career he's been American Canyon. He's does an amazing job at DUI investigations, and he trained new officers on DUI investigations. Recently this year, he showed some great integrity off duty. He was on vacation out of state, and unfortunately he witnessed a shooting in a public place, and he helped that law enforcement agency apprehend a suspect. So just a direct quote from his supervisors at ACPD. Officer Pinedo is an asset to his shift, to the department, and to the community, and his work product shows that both on and off duty. So once again, congratulate Officer Pinedo if you see him out and about on his great accomplishment. And that's it. Thank you. Happy holidays to y'all.
Thank you. That was likewise very honored to be able to attend VFW 1123 and really honoring Officer Pinedo for his service. Significant accomplishment for one of our own in American Canyon. So, and I just would comment, I think we do an outstanding job. We have very much the focus on community policing, which makes American Canyon a very safe place and gets everybody participating in making sure we are a safe place. So thank you. Anything further, Mr. Halden?
Yeah, Mayor. One other thing I wanted to mention, I wanted to give some credit to a group of employees whose names I'm going to read here in one moment. We have a sewer line out near Tower Road, at the end of Tower Road that pumps wastewater back to our treatment plant. And it's kind of in a remote location, not very easy to get to. And the kind of rainy conditions we're having today, we've had even in the last week. And we've had an issue with the pipeline. A leak had been discovered, and we had a large group go out there and really have an all hands sort of fix, really. And this was in really inclement weather, cold inclement weather that began, of course, late in the evening and carried on for a while. And so a longer term fix is going to be in the works, but these folks really stepped up, folks from across, not just our normal sewer collection folks, but this was an all hands group that we pulled in from a variety of places within the organization to come and share their expertise. So just thankful for these employees who stepped up and worked on this fix, starting with Dominic Patrick and Francisco Ramirez, are really leading the efforts. Fidel Lopez, Daniel Finnegan, Thomas Valente, Juan Garcia, David Accurso, Jordan Slava, Nolan Garcia, and Pam Phillips, all helping out on site, and both Jay Atkinson and Chris Morris helping remotely, even during periods where they're off of work, being available as resources as well. So we're able to get the issue patched, and we're working through some additional patches, and a longer term fix is in the works. But really thankful for the staff, stepping up under inclement conditions to go and deal with this. So just wanted to mention that, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Does that conclude your report, Mr. Holly?
It does, Mayor. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. We'll move on to council comments, committee reports, and then we'll take up future agenda items. We have a report from Councilmember Oral. Anything further to add?
No, hopefully y'all enjoying reading my reports. I enjoy yours.
No. Vice Mayor Joseph, anything further to add to yours?
No, just had a nice year, and I appreciate your support for being vice mayor, and I'm looking forward to handing my files over to now Vice Mayor Abu Dhabi.
How thick is that stack?
It'll get bigger.
Mark, you've done a lot of work, and it's really appreciated. So, you know, you have your experience and background, which is very important to all of us. So, thank you. Councilmember Albadamos, anything to report?
Yes, we had our North Bay Division Executive Committee meeting for the California League of Cities. One thing to note, we did vote on going back to charging each city $350 for membership fees. We decided that we were going to continue meeting or hosting our meetings via Zoom for the time being until, you know, we get some kind of clarification on what's happening with this new Omicron. Am I saying that correctly? The new variant? I keep wanting to say Omaricon because of like Omari, the singer, Omarion, the singer from like whatever they were, B2B back in the day. So I keep on messing up the name. But anyways, and then we did talk about upcoming legislation for 2022, which is probably more appropriate for me to put in a written report and send out to you guys so that we're all on the same page. But those were the big things that came out of that retreat.
All right.
And that's basically it for this week.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Washington.
I just want to give another congratulations to Officer Panetta for the Officer of the Year. And just thank the council for, this is my first year on council. You guys embraced me, taught me some things that I didn't know. But I appreciate the staff as well in embracing me for this first year. And Merry Christmas.
All right, very good. Well, for myself, we had a city finance committee meeting and we seem to be on track with everything there. This is more of a briefer update, and a more extensive one will be following later. But we'd like to check in with making sure we have our finger on the pulse of where finances are. And I really appreciate staff's effort on that as well. Attended the Doubletree tree lighting ceremony. Had there was the American Canyon High School Choir. And what an incredible event. You know, that choir is just awesome. What else can I say? And it was a very delightful evening. I think choirs probably was close to 30 members of the choir there. But they do a great job. And I just really, my wife and I are big supporters of the choir. We just always encourage everybody to do what you can to help support kids with their music efforts as well. Whether it's choir, band, all the activities at the high school or middle school. What else do we have? The Parole Festival. Now, I had somebody the other day said, parole, you mean that somebody's getting out of jail? No, it's have a whole different concept. Parole, for those who are not familiar, is a star type of holiday celebration element from the Filipino community. So if you drive by a house and you see this brightly lit ornament in the window, they're usually pretty much fill up the window, some of them, with all the lights sometimes blinking. That's an element that they put together, we put together in our house as well for the holiday. And the event had some little opportunity to learn how to make a parole, some bamboo thinly sliced. Kind of hard to do because it's very, very cold. And everybody's fingers are numb or shaking. And I kind of huddled myself around the barbecue there because it's at Shenandoah Park and it can be warm as long as they don't run out of briquettes. But it was an enthusiastic turnout. And some of the work done was remarkable to see. Janet, I believe had the 60th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack. And I attended to commemorate a loss in our family. We had a cousin generation ahead of me who was on the USS California. And he was killed in action on that day. So it was good to remember those. Well attended, I think. Some of the members of survivors of Pearl Harbor in attendance. Mind you, those are men now in their 90s and above. But good presentation and spokesman on the event as well. Well, I think that wrapped it up for me. I did want to remark again, Officer Pineda's event was great to honor one of our own and have us there to support in that role. So I thank you, Councilman Washington, for the invitation to attend and involved there to DFW. All right, any future agenda items? Going on. All right, good. Well, we have our anticipated future council items on our agenda as well. And with that being said, we will move forward now as we adjourn to our traditional post-council meeting celebration, Santa hats and jingle bells. So this now ends our official part of the meeting for the night. We are adjourned, but now we'll go into jingle bells. All right, let's get ready here. Hang on. I gotta find my document. Got it.
Are we sharing?
Oh,
Or do you think that we know the lyrics by heart?
No, I got them printed just in case.
Okay.
All right.
We need a little white ball with the,
Yeah.
thing that goes across the screen.
Yeah, follow the bouncing ball. Yeah, I used to do that.
Mitch Miller?
Okay, are we ready? 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way home. Song bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Hey. Thank you.
We weren't as good as the ACHS choir was the other night.
Yeah, we need
Give
Mr.
us some
Butler.
time to work it out.
Their jingle bells was way better.
It was cool.
Definitely need Mr. Butler.
Are those maple leaves, Bill?
No, those are
That's a
poinsettias.
Poinsettias, of course. That's
Sorry.
all right. Well, to everybody, all the best of holidays. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad, Maragaya Pascual. Happy holidays to all. We are adjourned. Enjoy it with your families and your neighbors and friends. And it's a time to celebrate, relax, and enjoy life. Very good.
Absolutely. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays all.
Right. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.